Hey, it's Ryan in New York City. It's May 17th, 2009, and you may not know exactly what today is. It's Anti-Gay Day, and I didn't make it to the event, and I'll tell you why in a second, but we're lucky. We're going to meet up with a very intelligent speaker, Randolfe Wicker, who went on his own accord to participate and find out, well, what is Anti-Gay Day? I didn't make it because it was a lot easier to find something else to do in New York City, and plus a lot of events are successful when they have press and numbers of people, so I was one number that was not there. Here's one number that was. Let's check in with Randolfe Wicker. How are you?
I'm fine, and I went to Anti-Gay Day because I didn't know it was going to be just all anti-gay. I heard there were a group of gays that are going to go over and confront the anti-gays in front of St. Patrick's Cathedral. There are usually about a dozen of them. And someone I know, who I won't mention, said, oh, they claim there are going to be 10 or 20,000 people. There won't be that many people there, but I want to go see because, you know, it's actually the first Anti-Gay Day. Well, I got there and what I saw was incredible. More than 20,000. I'm telling you, thousands and thousands of people, 5 blocks, almost all of them Hispanic, all talking about God and singing some beautiful Christian. That was the weird thing. It had some beautiful Christian music. It was so terrible to see these people sort of like using such beautiful music to sort of preach hate, and a lot of them were kids. There were a lot of families there. They bust them in very well organized, and one of the things they chanted was, "We've got money." And there was no other gay person. I saw 2 kids holding hands. I said, oh, a brave young gay couple, and I filmed them, but halfway down the block they stopped holding hands and sort of played this sort of like teenager nonsense between them, and I thought, they're not really gay, they're just probably typical white liberal New Yorkers, I shouldn't say white, but typical middle class New Yorkers who were spoofing the demonstrators. They were all saying, oh, no man and woman family, man and man, no family, and God says, and New York City is Gomorrah and all that stuff. It was actually frightening because these people were so passionate. That's what was frightening. They were passionate. This was not some hokey thing. This was people that really believed, and you know the people that were speaking then were a bunch of right-wing Republicans like Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly, who would vote down educational money and they will whip them up and send them to the Republican Party to vote against gay marriage, and they're really voting against education for their kids, health care for themselves, and a better America for everybody, and that's what's so sad to see.
Why do you think they targeted New York City for their press of Anti-Gay Day?
If you want to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, you go to Sodom. If you want to destroy Gomorrah, you go to San Francisco.
What did you learn from having attended this event as a gay activist?
Well, I learned a lot, and that was that I really didn't think that people were that serious about it. I mean, you know, you hear these people are against gay marriage, and I saw a guy on the PATH train yesterday on my way to the dance parade telling his kid about God and this and that, and I thought, this is one of those religious nuts. You know, we don't realize in New York City that those religious nuts are numerous, and not only are they numerous across the country, they're even numerous right here in our own city.
Were you surprised that there was not a diversity within the group of the anti-gay demonstration, that it was mostly Christian Latinos?
Yeah, because you had like the Latino Evangelical Association or the Latino Preacher Association. They were there wearing jackets. And interesting, I tried to interview one guy, and I finally said, oh, I finally found it, because they said 50th Street and 5th Avenue was the governor's office, and I ran around town. I did a whole documentary on that, and the guy said to me, oh, I'm going. I said, you going to the demonstration? He said, yeah. I said, what for? And he said, to support the teachers' strike. So I thought, well, this guy must have been, you know, I said, my God, I'm running to a teacher strike. I'm at the wrong demonstration. And then I get up there, and they're all holding up these, you know, it was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve signs, and all these slogans against gay people. He could not have mistaken that for a pro-teacher. I mean, but the interesting, he said that to me. Maybe he looked at me and thought I might be gay, but I mean, you know, I had one woman say, you know, to hell with you, because the cops kept moving people along. You couldn't stand across the street and even film. Even my press card that was did me no good. And this one woman was saying, oh, love everyone, black, white, gay, straight, you know, don't fall for the hate. And then I interviewed her, tried to interview her with my camera. I hope I got this, but it was sad because she said, She said, oh, she said, you know, but these people, she said, they all go on welfare and they all have kids that bankrupt our government. I said, don't be that way. I mean, it was so sad to see somebody who was there standing up for gay people and turning around and trouncing all Hispanic people. I have a lot of Hispanic friends. I love Hispanic people. These just happen to be one little narrow stripe of bigot. You can find a bunch of bigots in the South too, you know, today.
How did this anti-gay rally resemble what the anti-gay movement was of the 60s?
We didn't have an anti-gay movement. We only had a gay movement. No one had ever heard of it.
Nobody bothered with it?
No, they were all interested in knowing what we had to say. And now it's gotten to the point where everyone knows that gay people, and they know they want the right to marry, and they have the right to employment rights, and we have certain protections on the law. We're halfway towards full equality. We still don't have marriage rights and a few other rights. And now, it's now that you're building, you know, as you progress and things change, that's when you get resistance. People see, you know, people walking down the street. I saw middle-aged men walking down the streets of New York holding hands, and I'm just stuck by that, because in my day it was unthinkable. And these guys were doing it. It was an Asian guy, must have been 35, and some Caucasian, interracial couple yet, right? Holding hands, and they weren't doing it in a like, you know, militant way. They were doing it as normal human beings holding hands. And I'm seeing that more and more. I saw young teenage couples walking in Jersey City. They couldn't have been over 18 or 19, and one was wearing a sweatshirt, and the other boy was walking with him and had his hand in the other boy's sweatshirt pocket. And it was so romantic and so beautiful and so real and so free. And that's the change I've seen in my lifetime.
Now, as a gay activist, as a cloning activist, as an activist on multiple levels, how would you inspire lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered youth and people who are just allies going forward to step up and counter-demonstrate against the anti-gay movement?
You know, education. I mean, you see these kids out there with their families, and these people are singing about Jesus can save you. These people don't think. These people follow dogmas, and we have to try, in my opinion, I'm an atheist too, we have to stamp out religious fundamentalism, and we have to stamp it out in this country as well as in the Middle East, because Christian fundamentalism is almost, not quite, but almost as bad as Islamic fundamentalism.